A dumpster is a great asset to have for various outdoor scenes, whether it's a construction site, urban alleyway, or even some exterior residential scenes. I'm Gary the Garbage Man, and in this Blender Beginner series, I'm going to walk you through the process of modeling this low-poly dumpster. This video is part 1 of the series, and we're going to be modeling the basic mesh for our dumpster. So let's get this tutorial started! Starting with a cube selected in object mode, scale it down a bit on the Z-axis by pressing S then Z. Press Tab to go into edit mode and press Ctrl plus R to create a vertical loop cut. Left-click to place the loop cut, then use the mouse to move it back slightly to where the peak of the dumpster should be. Click on Edge, select near the top left corner, then select the top edge of your loop cut. Use the Gizmo tool to move the top edge up to create the peak. Press Tab to go back into object mode to adjust your dimensions. Now let's create a lip around the top of our dumpster. Press Ctrl R to create a horizontal loop cut just like before, then move it up just below the top of the dumpster. Click Face Select in the top left corner, then select all the faces around the top of the dumpster. This will be your lip. Press Alt-E to open the Extrude menu, select Extrude Faces along normals, then use the mouse to extrude the selected faces. Now let's create the inner walls of our dumpster mesh. Select the larger face on top where the opening should be. Press I to inset, then move the mouse to slightly inset the face. Switch the viewport mode to wireframe in the top right corner to see through your mesh. With the inset face still selected, press E to extrude and recess the face into the dumpster body. Move it to your desired depth. For this dumpster, we're going all the way down, placing the bottom of the inner part of the mesh just above the outer bottom. Use the Edge Select tool to position the back and front corners of the inner part. Then create a horizontal loop cut with Ctrl R, positioning it in the center. Now we need fork sleeves so my garbage truck can pick it up. Create a horizontal loop cut on the outer part of the mesh, positioning it about 1/3 of the way down from the top. Create another below it, leaving the desired height of the fork sleeves between the two cuts. Select the long face between these two cuts on one side, hold Shift, and select the opposite side. With both faces selected, press Alt-E to open the Extrude menu and select Extrude along normals, then use the mouse to extrude the faces out. Select the top outer edge of each sleeve and use the Gizmo tool to move them slightly downward. Do the same for the bottom edges, moving them slightly upward. Select both faces at the front of the fork sleeves, press I to inset, switch to wireframe mode, and press E to extrude, recessing the faces all the way to the back. Let's make the skids. Use Ctrl R to create a loop cut, then roll the mouse wheel to multiply the loops. 6 or 7 should be good. Select 2 rows of faces from front to back, evenly spaced like this, and extrude them downward slightly. Garbage stinks, so we need a lid on this thing. 2 lids, to be exact. Press Tab to go into object mode, then Shift A to display the Add menu. Go to Mesh and select Cube to add a new cube. Position and scale it over the dumpster opening where the lid should be. Once scaled, create a series of loop cuts on the lid, adding 2 cuts in each row for detail. Select every other long face and pull the selected faces up slightly. Duplicate the lid with Shift-D to make the second one, positioning it next to the first. Every lid needs a hinge. and dumpster lids are no exception. Select the dumpster body, press Tab to go into edit mode, and create a vertical loop cut between the front and peak. Click the small face near the peak on each side of the dumpster, then press Alt+E to extrude faces along normals. Extrude outward slightly. Add another loop cut past the lid on each extruded part. Then select the top outer faces and extrude along normals again. To create a hinge rod, go to Object Mode. Press Shift+A to add a cylinder, and rotate it 90 degrees. Scale and position it to run through the hinge brackets and lids. Then press Tab to enter edit mode and extrude one end to the other side. In the next video, we'll use the Principled BSDF shader to create a material and apply an image texture. But for now, I gotta get back to my truck to finish my route. I hope this tutorial was helpful. See you next time!